Okay, Ramona Smith,
Yes.
you are the top Toastmaster in the world, and you beat out how many people?
30,000.
30,000. Okay, so you've been through a lot. Could you tell me, number one, what was some of the major obstacles you faced in getting to that level?
This is my third attempt at the World Championship. My first attempt was in 2015, and I made it all the way from the club to the area to the division, then to the district level, and then I placed third in the district level. If you don't place first in the district level, you don't move on to the semifinals. And I was crushed because I was at that time led by my ego. And my ego told me that I was the biggest and the baddest and the best, and my speech was unbeatable and I was unstoppable, and then I didn't win. My next attempt was in 2016, the year after, and I didn't even make it out the club level. And that's the first level that you have to make it out of in order to start advancing to the finals, which is the World Championship stage. So I had to overcome my ego. That was the biggest challenge. And in the process of the first competition back in 2015, I was in the process of a divorce, and my son had some health issues, and I was kind of holding on to the hope of winning because my life was in shambles, basically. But the biggest challenge that I overcame this time around was it was not ego driven at all. It was all about the audience, and it was all about the experience.
Okay, well, I did see your speech, and I was really taken aback, and you seemed so natural and so comfortable at it, as though you had been there and done that. So, what are some problems? Do you have you had the ego problem. Now, many times people have the opposite problem. They have a lot of self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Has that ever impacted you?
That's not impacted me with speaking because I've known that I wanted to be a motivational speaker since I was 19. And the reason why it probably looked so natural when I was up there on that stage in front of 2,000 people from all over the world and thousands of people watching over the internet was because in my mind, I had already been there a bunch of times. I don't know if you're familiar with the phrase that thoughts become things, or if you think it, you have to visualize it, then do it. I'm very big on visualizing first. I'm very big on the law of attraction is I think where I'm going here. The law of attraction. If you think it, you speak it, you manifest it. So I had, in my mind, I had been on that stage 10,000 times, and I know that this is what I was put on this earth to do. Speaking and inspiring is my passion and my purpose. So self-doubt in that arena, negative. Self-doubt in other areas, probably being transparent. I have to make sure my time management skills are better, and I have to make sure my financial literacy is getting better. So in those two areas, I'm building self-trust. So those are probably the only two areas where I'm dealing with traces of self-doubt.
What do you do in those particular areas? And I focus a lot on self-doubt because I think so many people have much more going for them than they really believe they do. And negative criticism, well, most criticism is negative. If it's constructive, that's one thing. But a lot of times we're working on a goal, or we're approaching a goal, or we're doing something, or even after we accomplish it, you get the backbiters and the haters that come along, and they will do a job on you. I know they did a job on me. So during those times when people are very critical of you in areas where you don't feel so strong, what are the tools and the defense mechanisms that you use to alleviate that?
Well, in the areas of time management and financial literacy, I don't really publicize that too much. But as far as winning the World Championship of Toastmasters and becoming the #1 speaker in the world affiliated with Toastmasters, I have this video of the winning speech on YouTube. And the video is now at almost 300,000 views. And I learned a long time ago that in a room filled with 1,000 people, you would have 1,000 different reputations. And I shouldn't have done it. But I did it. I was reading the comments on the YouTube page, and this is 300,000 different opinions. And people were saying things like, I didn't deserve it, or it was lacking in content, or what is this? How is she #1 in the world? It's probably some American thing that they just slapped a global title on. Reading those, it didn't really add to any self-doubt, but I'm a human. And I know that I gave my best up there. And I know that this is what I love to do. So for thousands of people to negatively criticize me, people who never set foot on a worldwide stage, people who never spoke in front of thousands and thousands of people who aren't even members of Toastmasters, for them to tear down my artwork, it made me feel less than. It made me feel like they didn't appreciate what I was trying to give to them. I didn't write the speech for myself. I wrote the speech for the audience. And the only tools or resources or strategies that I can suggest are, first of all, not listening, not weighing in. I should have never read the comments ever, because everybody's going to have an opinion about you. No matter what you do, no matter how great you do something, or no matter how terrible you do something, everybody's going to have an opinion. So if you can ignore it, if you can avoid it, if you can do more self-affirmations, if you have a team of support that you can go to when you're feeling self-doubt, if you meditate, if you become more aware of who you are and strong within yourself, and you know that according to society you may not be perfect, but in this situation you gave your all, or you just know who you are, you won't be too bothered. You'll be unfazed, and you'll be able to elevate. It might burn for a little bit, but the more you can avoid it and stay away from it, that's my biggest suggestion. And if you can't, self-awareness, know yourself, and at the end of the day, you'll go home to yourself, you love yourself, and take care of yourself. Self-care.
Boy, that is exactly the advice I would give the audience if I could share it in that form.